kman thing that. Clap it in a face, fling back, get back.
Gangster paradise in Jamaica tourist hotspot plagued by heavily armed gangs where Brit trainer was gunned down in ordered it. So it is stating before the fatal shooting of Brit Sean Patterson this week a violent war between heavily armed gangs and cops has plagued the idyllic Jamaican town of St. James. The 33-year-old personal trainer's death is the first in the Montego Bay Parish this year after the town was dubbed Jamaica's murder capital in 2022. It is also stating that the Jamaica Constabulary Force recorded 198 homicides in the town alone last year after authorities vowed to tackle the well-funded and heavily armed gangsters it believed are behind the violent murders. The gangs have been waging a violent war often over petty disputes with access to brutal weapons such as deadly AK-47s and high-powered M16 assault rifles. The gang's sickening arsenal can be seen in clips believed to have been posted by breaking members on a YouTube channel that seeks to expose criminal activity. The Jamaican blogger known as Politics Watch, who shared the footage, told The Sun that gangs are so well funded they carry out drive-by shooting in luxury cars. Also, it is stating across St. James, police have been desperately trying to shut down organized crime groups such as the G-City Gang, Bad Breed Gang, and the Unknown Gang. In June last year, cops seized 5 firearms and 3 deadly high-powered AR-15 rifles during a raid in Salt Spring, whilst in February, a member of the G-City Gang was shot dead by police during a bus where M16 assault rifles, 2 AK-47 and 5 AR-15 rifles were seized. Blogger again Politics Watch believes illegal weapons are being smuggled into St. James from the US by gang members who have set up on contract with American arms dealer. Also, people, it is stating even some of the country's famous dancehall artists have been associated with brutal gangs and glamorizing violence and crime through their music. In November, dancehall star DJ Star or DJ Squash was linked to a double murder that took place in Florida after a feud that began in St. James split over into the US. 2 were left dead in a bloody shootout between the J-City and Bad Breed gangs. According to reports, Jareem Shelton, known as J-Man, and Squash close pal, was charged with double murder after illegally entering the US. Reports suggest Squash, who is originally from St. James but now lives in the Sunshine State, had been injured in the shootout. He later broke his silence to deny the rumors. In 2017, cops shot dead the G-City gang leader in a shootout after he confronted them with a Glock 40 pistol during his arrest. The death of Paul J. Lewis, otherwise called J, sparked a backlash and other members of the group threatened to murder security forces over the fatal shooting. So on Monday, the shooting of Sean Patterson in his St. James Holiday Villa sparked a global investigation with Jamaican cops suggesting it was a targeted attack. Although the murder has not been linked to organized crime gangs in the area, it's feared that more tourists could be caught in the crossfire. In 2018, the Foreign Office (FCO) issued a travel warning to those traveling to Montego Bay, urging them to stay inside their resort as the military carried out a crackdown on gang warfare. The FCO warned holiday makers that intensive law enforcement activities were expected in the area and holiday makers should limit their movements outside their resort, especially at night. Speaking at the time, Major General Rocky Meade, Jamaica's Chief of Defense, said Jamaican armed forces were targeting gangs with particular focus on those that are responsible for murders, lotto scamming, trafficking of arms and guns, and extortion. Despite the crackdown, a government campaign to tackle illegal arms, it appears murder rates have risen by 65% since 2021. The Paradise Island, however, still attracts a huge amount of tourists, with 2.5 million flocking to enjoy Jamaica's wide sandy beaches and luxury resort in just 2022. Also, it is stating that both the tropical island Sinister underbelly has meant many have found themselves embroiled in a blood-soaked nightmare. In 2018, British couple Charlie and Gail Anderson were found murdered in their luxury 8-bed Hope Bay home. Loved ones of the Andersons, who were found burned and shot, are convinced they were executed because they raised the alarm after being targeted by a 50,000 credit card scam in 2015. Keith Moraine from Birmingham was found dead in a sugarcane field, having had his throat slashed. The successful businessman was followed within minutes of landing at Kingston Norman Manley's International Airport before he was dragged onto a dirt truck and executed. The FCO currently describes Jamaica's crime rate as high, particularly around Kingston and Montego Bay. It also warns of gang violence and shooting and the risk of tourists becoming collateral victims. In online advice, the FCO says be especially cautious if you are traveling to West Kingston, Grand Spain, Augustown, Harbourview, Spanish Town, and certain parts of Montego Bay, including Flankers, Barrytown, Norwood, Glendavan, Rose Heights, and Mount Salem. The motive for most attacks on tourists is robbery. There are mobile police patrols, but you should take steps to protect yourself and your belongings. Be vigilant at all times, even if you are staying with friends and family. Don't walk alone in isolated areas or on deserted beaches, even during the day. Also, it added, take particular care when withdrawing money from ATMs. Don't carry large amount of cash or wear eye-catching jewelry. Try to vary which restaurants you use. Using the same place too often might make you a target for thieves. Avoid using buses at night. Also, it is now stating that right now it is not a pretty look for the Jamaicans who are now going to be needing these tourists to put food on their tables or to feed their families. So people right now, as what we could see happening in these situations with Squash and his famous G City gang, which they are stating is taking over Florida. Them states say, yo, the ICE and the Florida police are now cracking down on Squash and his famous the G City gang, and the Bad Breed gang is next. So right now people are speculate and I say it's not a good look for the dancehall artists who are involved with the Six Nation and also the G City gang. And we talk about dancehall artists like Squash, the famous Top Dan, where them claim say he is the alleged gang leader. Also man like Chronic Law, man like Daddy One, man like Bobby Six, Atomic Records, Shop than them as some producer. The whole of the man them have to open up them eye worse when traveling to the United States, because we don't know where they could implicate you guys within one of these criminal activities taking place by the famous G City gang over there in the Sunshine State of Canada, or I should say Florida. Sorry about that. So people remember, like, share, and tear thought in the comment.